Space, the biggest mystery ever. Space is huge. It's so vast that it's almost impossible to comprehend. Imagine a place so big that it never ends. That's space for you. It's like a giant, never-ending ocean. But instead of water, it's filled with stars, planets, and galaxies. It goes on and on forever. Scientists have been studying space for centuries, and yet we still know so little about it. Every time we think we've discovered something new, it just leads to more questions. It's like a never-ending puzzle that we are trying to solve, and it's full of stars and planets. There are billions of stars in our galaxy alone, and each one could have its own solar system with planets orbiting around it. Some of these planets might even be like Earth, with water, air, and maybe even life. Could there be someone else out there? The idea of aliens has fascinated humans for centuries. We've written books, made movies, and even sent messages into space hoping to find someone or something out there. Maybe aliens are looking at Earth right now. Imagine if there were beings out there, looking at us through their telescopes, wondering if they are alone in the universe. They might be just as curious about us as we are about them. What if they have lots of eyes and glow in the dark? Aliens could be very different from us. They might have different shapes, sizes, and colors. They might even have abilities that we can't even imagine. That would be cool. And maybe a little bit yucky. But that's what makes the idea of aliens so exciting. They could be anything and everything. The possibilities are endless. Some people say aliens have already visited Earth. There are stories and legends from all over the world about strange beings coming from the sky, a long, long time ago. These stories often describe beings with advanced technology, far beyond what humans had at the time. But who were these mystery visitors? Were they really aliens? Or just the imaginations of ancient people trying to explain the unexplainable? And what did they want? Did they come to help us, to learn from us, or maybe even to conquer us? Let's use our imaginations and go on an adventure to find out. The universe is full of mysteries, and the only limit is our imagination. So let's explore, dream, and maybe one day we'll find the answers we're looking for. Meet Zorp. He's a friendly alien from planet Zog. Zorp has 3 ears, purple fur, and loves to sing. But Zorp is also a super-duper explorer. He travels through space in his banana-shaped spaceship. One day, Zorp and his crew were on a mission. "Let's find a new planet!" shouted Zorp. "One with lots of fun and adventure!" Zorp's best friend, Gleep, looked worried. Gleep was a very nervous alien, even for an alien. "But what if it's dangerous?" Gleep squeaked. Suddenly, Zorp's spaceship zoomed past a blue and green planet. "Whoa!" shouted Zorp. "Look at that! It's so green and blue and alive!" Zorp had never seen so many plants and animals before. It's like a giant playground. Zorp couldn't resist. He had to get a closer look. He steered the spaceship towards the blue and green planet. Gleep held his breath and closed all 3 of his eyes. This was going to be a bumpy ride. The spaceship wobbled and shook as it entered the planet's atmosphere. "This is it!" yelled Zorp, grabbing onto his control stick. The spaceship zoomed down, 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 and landed with a crash. "Uh-oh," said Zorp. The spaceship was stuck in a giant mud puddle. Zorp and Gleep climbed out, covered in mud. "Well," said Zorp, trying to smile, "at least we landed." Gleep fainted. Zorp and Gleep looked around. Everything was so strange and new. Giant trees towered above them. Strange creatures crawled and flew and swam all around. Zorp's tummy rumbled. Exploring made him hungry. Zorp spotted a bright red fruit hanging from a vine. He took a big bite. Yowza! Zorp's mouth was on fire. It was the spiciest thing he had ever tasted. On planet Zog, they only ate purple slime, which tasted like nothing. Section 6. Learning Earth games and naps. Just then, some small, furry creatures came bouncing by. They were full of energy, hopping around with joy and excitement. Their fur glistened under the sun, and their laughter filled the air. It was a sight to behold, and Zorp couldn't help but be intrigued by their playful nature. They were playing a game with a round, bouncy object. The object seemed to be made of some kind of rubbery material, and it bounced high into the air every time it hit the ground. The furry creatures chased after it, their movements quick and agile. They seemed to be having the time of their lives. Zorp wanted to play too. His eyes lit up with excitement as he watched the game unfold. He had never seen anything like it before, and he was eager to join in on the fun. He approached the group of furry creatures, hoping they would let him play. He picked up the bouncy object and threw it. Way too hard. Zorp didn't realize his own strength, and the ball soared high into the sky. The furry creatures watched in shock as the ball disappeared from sight. Zorp's excitement quickly turned to worry. The bouncy object flew into the forest. It vanished among the trees, and the sound of it hitting the ground was faint. The forest was dense and dark, and Zorp knew it would be difficult to retrieve the ball. He felt a pang of guilt as he realized what he had done. The small, furry creatures whimpered. They looked at Zorp with sad eyes, their playful mood now gone. They had been having so much fun, and now their game was ruined. Zorp felt bad. He hadn't meant to spoil their fun. He didn't mean to scare them. Zorp's heart sank as he saw the disappointment on their faces. He wanted to make it up to them, but he didn't know how. He wished he could turn back time and throw the ball more gently. Maybe Earth games were too hard for him. Zorp began to doubt himself. He had always been good at games on his home planet, but Earth games seemed to be a different story. He felt frustrated and out of place. Zorp decided to take a nap instead. He found a soft patch of grass and lay down, hoping to clear his mind. The sun was warm and the gentle breeze was soothing. He closed his eyes and tried to relax. He was already feeling sleepy after all that excitement. The day's events had taken a toll on him, and he needed to rest. As he drifted off to sleep, he hoped that he would find a way to make things right with the furry creatures. Maybe tomorrow would be a better day. Section 7. Time to go home. Maybe. Zorp slept for a long time. He had been on Earth for what felt like an eternity, exploring every nook and cranny, meeting new friends, and experiencing the wonders of this strange planet. His dreams were filled with memories of his adventures, from the bustling cities to the serene countryside. He dreamt of the humans he met, the animals he saw, and the peculiar customs he learned. It was a deep, restful sleep, the kind that comes after a long, fulfilling journey. When he woke up, the sun was setting. The sky was painted in hues of orange, pink, and purple, a beautiful farewell from Earth. Zorp stretched and yawned, feeling a mix of emotions. The sunset reminded him of the many evenings he spent watching the sky, pondering the mysteries of the universe. It was a sight he would miss dearly. The colors seemed to dance and blend, creating a mesmerizing display that was both calming and bittersweet. He felt a little sad. Leaving Earth meant saying goodbye to all the friends he had made and the places he had grown to love. He thought about the laughter, the shared meals, and the stories exchanged. Each memory tugged at his heart, making the decision to leave even harder. But he knew that his time on Earth was just a chapter in his life, and new adventures awaited him back home. The sadness was a testament to the impact Earth had on him. Earth was fun, but it was time to go home. He had learned so much and grown in ways he never imagined. The experiences he had on Earth would stay with him forever, shaping his perspective and enriching his life. He knew that his journey wasn't over. It was simply taking a new direction. With a heavy heart, he began to prepare for his departure, knowing that he would carry a piece of Earth with him always. Gleep was already packing the spaceship. He was efficient and methodical, making sure everything was in its place. Gleep had also enjoyed his time on Earth, but he was eager to return to the familiar comforts of planet Zog. He hummed a cheerful tune as he worked, trying to lift Zorp's spirits. The spaceship was soon filled with souvenirs and mementos from their journey, each item holding a special memory. Gleep's enthusiasm was contagious, and Zorp couldn't help but smile. He was excited to go back to planet Zog, where the food didn't bite back. The thought of Zog's delicious cuisine made his mouth water. He remembered the strange and sometimes frightening foods he encountered on Earth, and he longed for the familiar tastes of home. Gleep shared his excitement, reminiscing about their favorite dishes and planning a grand feast for their return. The anticipation of the homecoming meal added a sense of joy to their departure. Zorp and Gleep climbed into their spaceship and blasted off into the sky. The engines roared to life, and the ground beneath them began to shrink. As they ascended, the landscape of Earth unfolded below them, a patchwork of greens, blues, and browns. The journey back to planet Zog had begun, and with it came a mix of excitement and nostalgia. The spaceship's interior was filled with the hum of machinery and the soft glow of control panels, creating a cozy atmosphere for the long trip ahead. Zorp took one last look at the blue and green planet. It was a sight he would never forget. The beauty of Earth from space was breathtaking, a reminder of the incredible journey he had experienced. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for the time he spent there and the lessons he learned. As the planet grew smaller in the distance, he made a silent promise to return one day. The view from the spaceship window was a fitting end to his adventure. He knew he would never forget his adventure on Earth. The memories would stay with him, a constant source of inspiration and joy. As the spaceship soared through the stars, Zorp felt a sense of peace. He was heading home, but Earth would always hold a special place in his heart. The adventure had changed him, and he looked forward to sharing his stories with everyone back on planet Zog. With a final wave, he bid farewell to Earth, ready for whatever the future held. Section 8. Did they really leave? Back on planet Zog, everything was back to normal. Zorp told all his friends about his exciting adventure on Earth. They loved hearing about the spicy food, the strange creatures, and the bouncy games. But sometimes, when no one was looking, Zorp wondered, did anyone see him on Earth? Did they leave any trace of their visit? He knew that somewhere on that blue and green planet, his adventure would live on. Section 9. Keep looking. So next time you look up at the stars, remember Zorp and Gleep. Maybe they're out there right now, exploring new and exciting planets. And who knows, maybe someday they'll even come back to Earth for another visit. Keep looking up, and never stop believing in the wonders of space. You never know what you might find out there.